Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Friday, the 1st of August, 2025. We'll get straight in with the synoptic and starting yesterday lunchtime. We can see the features there that brought all that nasty weather we had yesterday. Although despite the fairly big sales, we were able to get a little bit of evening flying in. So we made the most of the day, I think. Overnight, that cold front has moved clear to the south. Likewise, with this trough here that was over the channel midnight, and today midday, no particular features except this quite large trough, starting sort of up from the north of the Midlands there, down through East Anglia. So we are expecting to see that working its way south throughout today, getting closer to us. Fairly slow moving, so not a huge worry for us, certainly for most of the day. But there is a possibility of some lower cloud and showers sort of mid to late afternoon. Looking at the current set pick, however, see, not a huge deal to worry about. Clearer in our area here with quite a lot of cloud up to the north there where that trough was. And looking on the rain radar, you can see at the moment again a line of precipitation fairly isolated towards Norfolk at the moment. But that's going to build and follow the line that it is across the entire country, and will come and be in our area later on. Looking at the Met Office prediction for rain, if we run that through fairly quickly, you can see we're more in the clear almost entirely until sort of lunchtime. And then you get this line of showers there from Dover all the way up to Hereford. And those will come through, hopefully losing a bit of their potency by the time they get south of Reading. But we may catch the occasional sizable shower. Certainly nothing that's going to spoil play today, but may delay proceedings at times, and something that we do need to watch out for. By 7:30 to 8 o'clock, I think it's lost all of its energy, and there is no issue for the remainder of the evening. Should be a relatively uninterrupted day with the occasional break for a shower. The TAF at Odium, they're giving us 330 at 10 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, with view at 1,800 feet. And temporarily between the hours of 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock local, we'll have scattered at 2,200. Farnborough, on the other hand, slightly more there, 290 at 5 knots, visibility greater than 10, and scattered at 2,500 feet. What was a prop 30 between for earlier this morning, broken at 1,400 feet. And then between 11 and 3, there's a prop 30 for 8,000 meters viz with showers. Also a prop 30 from 3 until 4, and that that particular band of showers that we saw running down between Dover and Hereford, as that passes through, we can expect 4,000 meters viz with heavy showers. Looking at the spot winds, to the south there's 330 at 20 knots, and that's from 1,000 to 5,000 feet. But to the north, 330, becoming 340 by 5,000 feet. Slightly calmer with 15 knots, reducing to 10 at 5,000. So we can expect northwesterly between 10, 15 knots, possibly between 15 and 20 today at soaring height. On the ground today, however, it's got a northwesterly flow across the airfield here. And we can see about 10 knots in places, but it will be setting us up for runway 27 today. Looking at the local Met Office forecast, possibly coming around a bit more northerly later on in the day, so that will be up for review. Certainly once that goes round, we can monitor those conditions throughout relative to the runway that we're operating on. Visibility should be reasonable throughout with fairly high UV and moderate humidity. and some scattered cumulus. Temperature with GFS showing is about 21 degrees with a dew point of 9. Just refresh that quickly there. Yeah, that's the south side webcam looking directly to the north of the clubhouse being in the foreground of the picture. So it's already looking reasonably soarable in places, a little bit of cumulus starting to pop, and that base should increase throughout the morning. So we should have a reasonable day out of it. And temperature-wise, we've run out to 15.4 with a dew point of 10.8. Sky sight, so we can see on the left-hand side of the screen here a small excerpt from the potential flight distance. That's fairly poor to the north of us here. And obviously you can see the question marks on the chart there. And that, of course, will be predominantly attributed to that trough and the subsequent showers. But locally, or to the north initially, and then to the west and southwest, it should remain fairly good throughout much of the day. Locally, certainly, we might get a fair amount of cloud, but it should be cumulus with bases around 4,000 feet, possibly slightly higher later into the afternoon, depending on what those showers do, and climbs of strength between 3 and 4 knots. If we look at the cloud on the chart here from Top Meteo, starting 9 local, running it through hour by hour, I can see the fair amount of cumulus starting to pop by sort of 10 and now 11 o'clock. That continues throughout. A little bit of auto Q, sort of medium thickness auto Q in our area, but it should remain fairly clear to the west. And by about 2 o'clock, you can see quite a lot of thicker auto cumulus starting to come in, and start of development. Should remain soarable underneath, but as those showers start to come down, it is going to make life that little bit harder, but should have cumulus into the evening. No times then, nothing hugely significant, but quite a lot of paragliding. So at 25, they've got paragliders at Combe Gibbets from surface to 3,000 feet. Likewise at beg your pardon, at 12 and 23, you've also got paragliding in those areas there. Down at 5, you've got supposedly intense gliding above Bovington. There's also gliding club. That's in fact they're just operating outside of their normal hours, so flying midweek, and that will be winch launching and air towing. At 29, you've got West Ilsley there, winch launching paragliders up to 1,900 feet. Over at 33 there, you've got the Dunstable comps. 31, we have the Otmore ranges, that's surface to 1,000 feet for the danger area. And at 32, Western on the green is registered as active, but that's not until sunset, so you needn't worry about that. Finishing off now with the local airfield brief. Glider bookings to begin with, we've got 2 K21s on the 5-day courses and a K21 allocated to the casual list. There's also a K13 operating trial lessons today, and we have plenty of single-seater availability. At the moment, there's 4 on the casual list with 1 instructor, so if there's anybody else around that wants to do a bit of instructing, by all means, come along and help out. It'd be much appreciated. And the simulator is available as normal. Once again, a reminder about the Boyne expedition. Get in touch with the office to book, and any questions, divert to myself, Barry, or Ron. Movements today, we've got a Beach 200 King Air coming in. It was 14:45 unconfirmed. It's now unconfirmed at 14:27 local. Despite being a 200, it's not a 2XL pilot coming in from Germany, so it's going to have to be treated as a large aircraft movement. Hence, we'll clear the entire runway as before, as we normally do with the big jets. In summary, there's high pressure reaching in from the southwest with a prominent trough to the northeast, bringing possible showers this afternoon. So northwesterly flow across the airfield and reasonable soaring conditions throughout. We have runway 27 today. Certainly initially, cables on the south side grass will be gridded if required on 27 north side grass. Please make sure you're ready when the cable or tug arrives, and of course, do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. Finishing off here with our airfield setup, the winch on the south grass, air towing, normal club operations on the hard, and any grid as required in the usual place on the north side grass. That's all for me today. We'll see you out there very shortly. So have a good day and keep it safe. Thank you very much.